Hi, everybody. First, I want to start off by apologizing. I did record our first meeting for Sigma Kappa Delta, but it didn't save the sound. So I am re recording with the hopes that this time we have sound. Uh, so we'll get started right into this. Sigma Kappa Delta is the English Honor Society for 2 year colleges. Our chapter is called Upsilon Delta. So ours the Upsilon Delta chapter. My name is Heather Fitch. You see my email there on the screen, hfitch@kilgore.edu. My co-sponsor is Bonnie Gale. You see her email on the screen, bgale@kilgore.edu. Anything that I talk about in this video or any other ideas or questions you may have about Sigma Kappa Delta, please, by all means, email it to both of us. Really would be fine, or either or both. So, let's see. So, Sigma Kappa Delta, we are one of two honor societies here at Kilgore College. So, if you have received an email for Sigma Kappa Delta and also for Phi Theta Kappa, they are two different societies. Ours is English Honor Society, whereas theirs is just a general honors society. So there's something I wanted to make sure everybody knew. So if you have perhaps already you've signed up for Phi Theta Kappa, but you haven't signed up yet for Sigma Kappa Delta, that is also a possibility. So if you're unsure, let me know. I can get back to you and see where we are. All right, so our chapter is actually really cool. As I said, the Upsilon Delta chapter, we hold the very prestigious Ivy League designation in our society for Sigma Kappa Delta National, and it's actually very prestigious, a very cool honor that we get to do that we get to have that every semester. And that to gain that prestige, what that means is that number one, we are active. We have done some projects to help our community, and we also donate a portion of our funds towards the Dolly Parton Foundation for children's books and literacy. So it's pretty great thing we do here. um, Membership for Sigma Kappa Delta is by invitation to students who qualify. The qualifications are listed on our website, english2.org, which I'll be showing you shortly. Um, it includes things like you need to have passed English 1301 college level English in a college with with a B or better, and your GPA needs to be 3.0 overall, and you need to have completed a semester at a college. So those are some of the qualifications. Let's see. So the website is english2.org. There are a ton of cool things on that website. Again, I'm going to show you in just a moment in this video. Um, our Facebook page, you can find it easily by searching for SKD Kilgore College, the Upsilon Delta chapter, as you see on the screen there. You can also sign up for Remind 101 to add yourself to our Remind. This is a new thing. I have just set it up actually. So if you would take out your phones, text at 2AE6KG4 to the phone number 81010, and that will add you to our Remind 101 for Sigma Kappa Delta. Before we move forward, I would like to, again, very quickly show you some of the really great things that are on the website. It includes, there we go. It includes awards and scholarships, which all of those applications will be due November 15th. Carla Dominguez was one of our members last year. She placed second in the photography contest. There's also chapter award, chapter literacy publication awards. Members can purchase merchandise through the website, and there is lots of information about the national convention. Um, a quick note on the convention before I switch over and show you the website. If you are interested in going to the convention, please email Miss Gail and myself as soon as possible so that plans can start being made. That includes hotel reservations, travel accommodations, things like that. Um, we are very limited in our ability to help facilitate travel and accommodation. However, we can help to make plans and to get it going, and just to make sure we all get there. So um, that is something that is in the works. If you're interested, again, email us, let us know, and we're going to get started on that as soon as we are able. So the website, english2.org, this is what it looks like on the main page here. When you were sent your invitation to join Sigma Kappa Delta, you were sent also an email from Calhoun College, who is that's where our national organization is housed, and it included information for how to join and how to log in and pay your dues. So there's all that. If you didn't get that email, please email Miss Gail or myself as soon as you can. So there's a lot on this website, just tons of information, stuff about Sigma Kappa Delta, our history, the headquarters, the forms, handbooks, things like that. Chapters, charting a chapter. Hey, there's recognition. You'll see Kilgore College listed on their recognition page, right there in the middle, right there in the middle. So it's kind of cool that we get to be there. That's for the Ivy League again. Let's see. Anniversaries, years of service, what chapters do. Membership, there are the benefits, there's the eligibility, chapter web pages, recurring members. Scholarships and awards. I want to stop here for just a moment and show you some of these scholarships are so easy. Um, and the writing awards are fantastic. Again, we had a member who got second place last year, and she did great. She did fantastic. She got $50, and her photograph was amazing. It was a statue called the Bean. The scholarships and writing awards, and the all of them really. You have to remember these are from a 2-year colleges, and so a lot of people don't really apply for them because a lot of people forget that they are here. So I want to really encourage you guys before November 15th um, to apply for some of these because the chances of you winning are pretty high. And it's very prestigious. It looks great. In fact, Carla's photograph that won second it was published in the Hendra Helix, the national magazine that it goes out for Sigma Kappa Delta, so you can find it there. Um, so please, please, please let me know if you need help with that. A lot of the instructions are pretty easy to follow once you're on the website here. It tells you exactly what they're looking for, um, exactly what they're doing. You'll see there's one for poetry, there's one for prose, there's also one for literary analysis, which if you take English 1302, guess what? That's what you do in English 1302. There's one for a personal essay, short fiction. There are a ton of these things, you guys. So please, please, please look into this. See if you're interested, if you have something, or you can write something, or you can make something that might qualify. The chapter awards are awesome. They're a lot of fun. One of them is just for chapter activity. So things like community service or helping the college. Last semester we did a children's book drive, so stuff like that that could qualify us for that award, and that money goes to our chapter, which we use for our projects, for our events, and also for our induction ceremonies every semester. We can also do the literary magazine. Now, that's a little bit more tricky. We did start working on it before COVID hit. And when COVID happened, it just kind of disbanded everything, and we kind of lost touch on the ideas for the literary magazine. And so I have yet to get that started back up, but it is certainly something that we are looking into, that we might like to get into. So if you have ideas for that, or you have, something that you really think would just go along with that, let us know that too, right? Just anything and everything that hits you that you might be interested in, we will follow it and see if we can make it happen. Let's see. Chapter awards. Okay, so we talked about all that. The Sigma Kappa Delta 2023 convention is going to be in Colorado. They are doing a call for papers right now, which means that you can work up a paper, an essay, something to do with their, see, this the round table, something to do with the, what is it, the colors, right? Colorful Colorado. So the colors. Um, there is much more information, I believe. Yes, event submissions. So there is more information here. You can, I believe, let's see. Oh, there it is. So, nope, that's not it. Well, convention roundtables. There we go. That's what I wanted. So before October 12th, all right, it's a pretty quick deadline here. Before October 12th, if you are interested in submitting something, these are the requirements here on this page under the convention information. So if you have something like that, you want to do that, let me know. All you have to submit right now is the abstract of your paper and what it would look like. And then the idea is that we would go to the convention and you would present your paper to a round table and get some feedback on it. And eventually that leads to publication. So that's the ultimate goal. Anyway, it doesn't have to, but that would be the goal. So there is all of that information. There is also merchandise here on the website. There is some really cool merchandise here. One of my favorites, so you can buy the cords. That's something else. Whenever you gain membership into Sigma Kappa Delta, you automatically get a certificate and a pin. I don't have the cords. We used to do them with our dues, but it was costing too much. So, and also I was having difficulty delivering the cords to students on time. So it's just a lot easier for everybody if you go ahead and buy the cords through the website yourself, and then it can mail directly to you and you have them. So you can buy your cords there. You can also buy t-shirts, which I encourage if you ever want to wear them around campus and look cool. That's awesome. There is one, the soul selects her own society. I love that Dickinson quote, but there is one that I really love. Where is it? There it is, right there in the corner. It says heroin addict, but it's, hero, female hero, not actual heroin. Proud mom of a Sigma Kappa Delta. I kind of love all of these. I'm an English major. You do the math. So there's a lot of stuff. There's hats, t-shirts you can see there, and they update this and change the merchandise. I mean, I want to say like every other month or so at least. So there are some really cool things there. Publications. There's where you can see the Hendra Helix. The again, that's a national magazine. The most recent ones, all the way up to 2020 right now, but we do have a couple more fixing to come out, and they'll be added to here. FAQ and in contact. So there's a lot of stuff on the website. Feel free to poke around, explore it, gather some information, and then ask myself or Miss Gail any questions that you may have. This right here, this one is the Facebook group, and I wanted just to give you guys an image of it. Um, this was our induction group before COVID. So it was kind of a small group. They were a great bunch of students. We had a lot of fun with these people. I think I'm pretty sure all of them have gone on and graduated at this point. So that's kind of wonderful, and they're doing well as far as I know. The ones that I've spoken with recently. I do tend to keep up with my members when I can. I don't always do a good job, but I do try. And several of them are still on our Facebook group, so you can talk to these folks too. So there's the Facebook group. That's what it looks like. Got lots of stuff there. Um, and there is the National Hispanic Heritage Month, which I will be talking about in a moment. You can see there where it says special guest David A. Romero. Um, so that is something that is happening pretty quickly, and that is actually us with the DEI. They got their name on it because they paid for most of it, but it was my idea, and it's Sigma Kappa Delta. This is from our book drive last semester that I mentioned. We did children's books to promote literacy for December. We had, I think, I want to say like 13 to 15 books in the back of my car there, and it was full. And we donated them to daycares, local daycares, and then also Rahab's Retreat and Ranch. And they were thrilled. They were just thrilled to have brand new books for all the kids. And I mean, they weren't brand new. They were, donated used books, but they were great. So that was a lot of fun. So I do try to keep this semi updated. I kind of keep some pictures when I can and things like that on there. So there is the Facebook group. Alrighty, so back in here. Yeah, covered all that. Officers. So last year, we didn't have officers per se because we got sort of a slow start. We didn't have a chance to do elections or to really, have volunteers, anything like that. And we didn't have a huge active group. We had several members, which I was so grateful for, but it wasn't so huge. And I'm so excited because it seems like this semester we're going to have a lot more people, and I hope that our active members keep growing and growing because that is what makes this so much fun. um by the way, I never hold you guys up to the candle of you must do anything. Everything that we do is voluntary. And I find that that keeps it really good for you guys. That it keeps our motivation high. It just lets you have the freedom to make those choices. So I appreciate that, and I think that's a wonderful thing that we keep that voluntary. So on that note, I would like to ask for volunteers for officers. Last year, I appointed one president, and that was Pauline Bryant. She was fabulous, and she helped me during the induction ceremony. And she will probably be asked. I will probably ask her to help me during the officer ceremony, to get our new officers in, unless of course she stays president. So that's always possible. We need a president, a vice president, secretary, treasurer, historian. All of the descriptions for these roles you can find in the official SKD handbook, section 7, which is on the website, english2.org. Essentially, for our purposes, the president would coordinate much of the events and activities that we'll be doing throughout the year, and the vice president would assist with those and take over as needed if the president is otherwise unable to help. The secretary would keep notes and things like that, and kind of keep up with some of our media thing, anything paper oriented. Our treasurer would work very closely with Miss Gail and myself because much of our money goes through the college. But if we're doing, for example, a fundraising event, the treasurer would need to be there and help make sure the money's on account. So there's that. And then the historian. Um, in the in the handbook, the historian takes notes and also helps to keep the just what we've done, and keeps records and retention and things like that. So at any rate, I am looking for all of those people and much more. So, please, please, please email me and or Miss Gail to let us know which position you might be interested in, or if you're just open to any officer role. That would be fabulous. Um, I need as much help as I can get with those places so that we can get some of these events going. We will do elections as needed. So if I have two or three people interested in being a president, then I would do an election and let you guys vote. Um, However, I have yet to have that need. So, because most people decide, well, I want to be the president or the vice president. And so when one gets full, the other one gets taken. So that's also a possibility. We will, as soon as possible, probably within the next 4 to 6, I would say 4 weeks, probably within the next 4 weeks, we would do an officer ceremony. It would be members only. It would be a closed ceremony, and probably just via Zoom. It's very formal, very basic too. It's a matter of our last year's president uh, essentially reading a script and saying, here are your duties, and here's me passing the torch. So that's kind of what goes in. And so it's very simple, very easy. So we will get that going pretty quickly. All right, so let's see, current projects. The first and foremost I want to talk about, we have a speaker, David Romero. He's on the poster that I showed you that is posted in our Facebook page. Um, this was actually my doing. I received an email from Mr. Romero himself. He is a performing spoken word artist. That is his official title. He is a spoken word artist. And so he does many visitations to different colleges and universities and other events. And he discusses issues that are extremely relevant right now to our young people. Um, so, students and parents and things like that. He talks about these things uh, very passionately in many cases. And in particular, one of his talks is based around the Latinx. Um, and that's what he's going to be bringing to Kilgore for us. So, whenever I received this email, I took it to the DEI committee, which stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And they have a lot more funding abilities, capabilities than I do. So I took it to them and I partnered with them as well as the Diversity Alliance, which is another club on campus. And excuse me, got choked up. I partnered with all of them to get David Romero here to pay for his flight and to pay his fees and to ask him to come be with us. So officially he will be here on September 29th from 5:30 until 7:30 p.m. by the way. Um, and he will be in the auditorium or at the Dodson Auditorium. I needed to put that on here and I didn't remember to, but it will be in the auditorium. We have several other groups around campus that have already volunteered to set up tables and they're going to hand out swag and they're going to talk to students and try to let them know that they are here. So Phi Theta Kappa is one. I have some people from recruiting that are coming, some people from the adult education that are going to be there, um, and some people from Trio also. So I have a lot of other groups that are going to set up and be there with us and just try to make this a really cool event and reach out to students, let them know, hey, here's what we're doing. um, for our table, I do, again, I'm asking for volunteers if you are interested and available on September 29th from about 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. That way we have time to set up. But even if you're not available the entire time, that's fine, let me know. um, but I am asking for volunteers to come and just kind of show up and be the face of Sigma Kappa Delta during that evening. You'll be handing out Sigma Kappa Delta, like we have bookmarks and candy mostly. Um, and also, we want to give out tickets for raffles. This was approved during our meeting. It was the one thing that we got to vote on a little bit. So we did approve that we are going to do raffles. And so at our little table, we'll be selling those tickets for raffles. They will be $1 for one ticket, $3 for five, or $6 for 10. And I am coming up, I think we're going to have three, possibly five different raffles going on. And they'll all be coming out of the same pot. So when a student buys one ticket, then they are automatically submitted for all five possible raffles. So it's kind of a cool deal. Um, School supplies was one. KC T-shirt was one. Gift card to Starbucks was one. There was something someone else suggested, things like to the bookstore, giving us gift card to the bookstore, and things like that. So I'm working on getting those raffle items put together, and I will have those ready to rock and show you guys by our next meeting. Um, but again, I just need volunteers. If you would email me as soon as you decide you want to help, that would be awesome. Okay, next one. We are also, this was also my fault. We volunteered as a group to help with a display case for the DEI committee. Again, diversity, equity, and inclusion. There is a display case in Old Main. You've probably passed it at some point. Looks like a trophy case, kind of. And one of them is dedicated to the DEI. And they wanted to ask this year that each club or organization on campus take on a different month, essentially. So when I saw this, I said, well, I like Christmas, so I'm going to do Christmas. I volunteered for December. However, since our classes don't meet all of December, we get to crowd in on November and take over early about mid-November and set up our display for this trophy case. And so our theme was that was handed to us by the committee was religious diversity. Okay, so uh, Miss Gail and I have been kicking around some information and talked with our members at the meeting. Again, I wish you could hear that, and I apologize. The sound didn't work. So, but Miss Gail is kind of taking this on. She's doing so great with it, and I'm just kind of here helping with it. So we said, well, maybe each volunteer, again, voluntary, would maybe take on a different religion and make an infographic about it, would and collect maybe one artifact for that religion. So, for example, you might have a poster dedicated to Buddhism, and then find us a little baby Buddha statue to put in the display case, and that'd be really cool. Um, at this point, Ms. Gale suggests the golden rule across religions, and I'll show you why that is the suggestion on the table at this point in just a moment. On infographics, we would have, of course, pictures would be fabulous, colors if applicable. Um, Maybe even a map. How many of that religion practice in the USA currently? How about the world? Where is it concentrated? Who is the religion's key teacher? What kind of scriptures do they have? Are there any other interesting facts that we want to know? And maybe even talk about some of the general beliefs of that religion. That is still a question there, but that's up to you as the volunteer. So the golden rule across religions, this is one of the infographics that Ms. Gale has already put forth, and I really like this one. um, but we're talking about possibly separating it up, something along the line of these. And so each one of these would have their own info, their own graphic, and maybe some other stuff to go with it. um, or maybe have these separate and then another one on Christianity or Hinduism or whatever on the other side. At any rate, this is kind of where we're going with it. Give us a little bit of information. And again, what is the golden rule? Well, all of these, if you look, let me go back previous, all of these have to do with do unto others as you would have people do unto you, or love your neighbor, or value people. That's kind of what all of these mantras seem to be indicating. So those are things, those are common teachings, commonalities in religious zones. And so I think Ms. Gale was saying during the meeting that focusing on the commonalities as opposed to the major differences, I mean, yes, we have to talk about the differences, but focusing much more on those commonalities, I think, is what unifies, right? And it reminds us we're all people. It doesn't matter how we believe, we're all people, and we all work together. We're all a community, right? And that's the heart of diversity, equity, and inclusion, is it not? So that's kind of where we're going with that. Again, if you're interested in helping with this, please let us know ASAP. And you can start gathering and hunting information and get with Miss Gail especially, but also myself, and see what we're going to do. We're also talking to the library to see what kind of religious texts we can get our hands on, such as, of course, a Bible, Quran, maybe some of the other notes and literature from these specific religions, which I think would be really cool. All right, upcoming projects. These are all options that we did explore and talk about briefly during the meeting. We cannot do all of them because, frankly, it would drive Miss Gill and I a little bit ragged, I think. But with the election of officers, these events are much more possible. So, I want to ask you members to start wrapping your head around some of these potential events. Which ones do you like? Which ones do you hate? Are there any others you would suggest that you would like to see us do? Are there fundraisers you'd rather do? So, right now, we're just putting out feelers. We're just kind of getting an idea of what our interests are. Where are we most interested? What do you guys think? So, we thought about joining the theater for a Halloween event. Originally, I had considered doing something along the lines of an Edgar Allan poetry night, because that's fun. Um, and then we found out the theater is planning for something for around that time, so we could just join with them. Um, we also kicked around the idea of maybe doing a Thanksgiving sort of event. Of course, it would go all month long, not just for Thanksgiving, and it could start, as early as, well, now, but it could start mid October and all the way into November. We could do something thankful for literacy or spreading cheer, spreading thanks. I don't know. It's up to you guys. And how that looks to you is also something I would like you to consider. As I said, last year we collected children's books and delivered those to local places where children could access books that needed them. And that is, we were spreading literacy, right? Helping encourage literacy in our local places, which is wonderful. So if we do something along the lines of a November event, what would it look like to you? Would we be collecting food and uh, and and donating it? Would we be collecting? I mean, what would it look like? So up to you. And then also we could do something for Christmas, but I want to remind you that our semester ends very early in December. Actually, it's like mid-December, but I don't count finals week ever. So our semester ends early in December, and so we won't have a lot of time to do anything for Christmas per se. But if we start mid-November, we could probably get something done for Christmas if you would like to do that. So again, give me your ideas, what you're interested in. Just let us know. Okay, so another upcoming project that we want to make sure and talk about pretty soon is going to be a fall induction ceremony. This would likely happen at the very end of November or maybe that last week, the first week of December before finals. Officers will be asked. That would be the one event that I would ask that my officers need to be at. Of course, some of them will be getting inducted, which is great. So you'll want to be there anyway. But I will want my officers to help plan and set that up. So that's what that is. The induction ceremony is essentially where we give you your certificates and your pins, and we say welcome to the club. Um, it's kind of formal. We usually your family and friends are all invited. We gather together and we just we celebrate. That's what it is. It's a celebration. So we do that, and traditionally, we have only done it in the spring, but I found a lot of people graduate in the fall and they don't come back in the spring. So we are looking into potentially setting one up for the fall, and we want to get that going. So I need my officers to help. Uh, Also, for the induction ceremony, I would like to ask you, my members, to nominate potential honorary members for our chapter. Now, an honorary member is a friend of Sigma Kappa Delta, someone who we want to be friends with, maybe. It's people who have helped our club or who do a lot for just English or literature or who have helped you, even teachers in other parts of the college, perhaps, or staff members or maintenance men. I don't care who it is. If it's someone who has helped you, let me know and we can honor that person. We can give them an honorary membership. And last year we gave four. One was to Dr. Case, the president of the college. One was to Dean Johnson. She's the dean of arts and sciences. So our department head also, Mr. Jason Graves. He's over the English department. And then we had Professor Stephanie Lasek, who was a co-sponsor for the club and very active before COVID. And during COVID, she switched over and transitioned into a different position in the college. So Miss Gail has taken her place, which we are so honored and excited to have her. Um, so anyone in the college, or I mean, even we could conceivably offer it to someone outside of the college if the club agrees, and I think that would be a delicate thing I would have to look into, but I mean it is possible, but preferably someone inside the college who has made a difference for you, and that's who I want to nominate. So let me know your nominations. Okay, finally, we would need to start looking. It would be very beneficial to us to start looking at spring projects and fundraisers that we may want to do. Um, Possibly Valentine's Day event or an Easter event. Again, these are just those are in my head. But we don't have to go around the holidays, you guys. We can do anything. We could do a cleanup event, a charity. We could run a book drive. We could run a food drive. We could do anything. We could do fundraisers. I mean, I guess we could do car washes. I don't love car washes, but we could do it. We could do bake sales. Guys, our football players love their bake sales. They come every time and it's great. So, any project or something that you have a suggestion on that you would like to see us start working on for the spring, go ahead and let us know. Okay, our next meeting is going to be September 27th at 2 p.m. I will send the Zoom link to active members. I won't be sending it again to prospective members. So if you have not signed up and paid your dues, you won't be getting the link. So I want to encourage you to do that before the next meeting. I will physically be in the conference room upstairs in the library. So if you would like to attend the meeting and be there in the room with me, it's very informal. You'll see me sitting there in front of a computer and talking to the screen because it's on Zoom. Um, but I do like the meetings. I have a lot of fun with them. I love meeting you guys. It was so great to meet the people who came on Tuesday this week. Uh, I was so excited, just so excited. It gives me jazzed up and so happy to see you guys and to work with you. So if you are interested in coming in person, please by all means do so. But you're also welcome to attend via Zoom, or I will also be attempting to record that meeting, hopefully with sound this time. Um, at that meeting time, and I'll again send it out and post it on our Facebook page. So, anything, and everything, please email to hfitch, that's me, at kilgore.edu, or to Miss Gail Bonnie, it's bgail at kilgore.edu. Let us know where you are, what you have, any ideas, if you want to volunteer, if you want to help with anything. Um, and, oh, I had something in my head I was going to do. Oh, if you are, if you are receiving emails from me and you don't want any more emails from me, let me know that too. um, at the next meeting, in this meeting, this is our first meeting of the semester. And so a lot of this was, just as you see here, a presentation of information and things that I would like for our members to think about and to consider. In the next meeting, we will be doing some actual voting. We will be doing some signing up for things. We will be getting things much more set on a few of these, especially these projects that are coming up pretty quickly, like the David Romero project and the display case and those raffles and things like that. So we'll have a lot more for our members to do. It'll be a little bit less me talking, hopefully. Um, and if you have questions, if you have concerns, guys, please let me know. I'm always available to you. And the remind again is brand new, so feel free to sign up for it as soon as you can. All right, I think that about wraps it up. Again, questions, concerns, commands, demands, or otherwise, send it to us. I hope you guys have a wonderful couple of weeks until our next meeting, and I look forward to seeing you then. Stop the recording.